Hey guys, what's up? I hope that you are all doing well. In today's episode, I'm going to share the rules for being magnetic. And let me just start off by telling you guys something that I need you to be able to keep with you as you continue to listen to the remainder of this episode. And some of you might be triggered by what I'm about to say, and that's fine. And I invite you to really sit with what I'm saying. Okay, so first of all, we have chosen the way that we were going to look in this life. Now, let me stop you right there. If you're listening to this and you're like, but B, I'm ugly, or I feel like I look like a potato or something, why would I have picked to look like this if it's not something that's attractive? And I know that um, this world benefits people who are more beautiful or who fit into a particular idea of beauty. And there are so many reasons for that. So maybe you picked to look the exact way that you did because you knew that that would attract specific people into your life at a specific time period. Like maybe you knew that there were certain connections that you were going to make by having certain features. Maybe you have like a really bright smile that attracts a lot of people to you. Maybe you are someone who has like really big eyes, and like that's the thing that people notice the first time that they like see you, and that attracts them to you. And when I say this, I don't mean that people are attracted to you in like a sexual kind of way. I mean they're attracted to you because of what you look like they're attracted to the kind of energy that you embody. They're attracted to maybe the way that you dress, the way that you walk, the way that you carry yourself, and they feel like they have an opening to speak to you, to start conversations with you. It's not always something that has to be like sexual, or if someone is attracted to you because they're looking for like a relationship or something like that. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you is because this was the first kind of idea that I needed to accept within myself. And that really was the key in helping me gain more confidence in my own personal life. So I used to like, and I know this may shock some of y'all because like I am a really confident person like nowadays in my life. And I like talk about confidence and stuff all the time. But like growing up, I really had very low self-esteem. I thought I was like the ugliest person in the world. I always judged myself. I always tried to find ways to try to change the way that I looked, because I wanted to be more attractive to people. And I really disempowered myself in that way because I wasn't allowing myself to have the room to figure out what it was that I truly like loved about myself. I think at that point in my life, the only thing that I really thought positively about when it came to what I physically looked like was my smile. Like I always got compliments on my smile from people because I used to smile at people like all the time. It's just kind of like a natural thing for me. I like doing that. I love whenever I can help to brighten someone else's day. And so that was really the only feature of myself that I started to like at that point in my life. And so if you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, well, like I'm a really ugly person, be like, why would I have picked to look like this? This stuff goes so deep. Like it's so crazy to think that we live our lives on this planet and we don't recognize exactly how detailed, how planned every single thing is. Same way that we've picked what people we're going to meet in our lives at what time, certain relationships we're going to have. We've picked maybe like our family members, we've picked just different experiences that we wanted our souls to be able to experience on this planet. We've also picked exactly what we were going to look like. And that is something that you should honor. And this isn't coming from me and being like, Like I was where you are right now. I was exactly in that position. And the funny thing about it is, even if you are someone who is like stereotypically attractive, and you have a lot of those traits that people would consider to be physically attractive, that doesn't mean that you feel good about yourself, right? Like there are so many people that I've met in my own personal life who are so beautiful. I mean, like they're some of the most attractive people I've ever seen, but they have very low self-esteem. They don't have a lot of confidence. And the way that you view yourself is what is going to change your entire world. It doesn't matter if you have all of these features, but you continuously think to yourself in your mind that you're an ugly or an unattractive person. Like people can compliment you all the time, but if you still think that you're ugly, it's not going to really change much for you. It has to start with how you're going to view yourself on the inside. It starts with the internal. And I want you to carry this with you really for the rest of your life, because when I say that we chose what we're going to look like, I mean that that is something that is meant to be honored. That's meant to be something that is going to empower you. And I've never really heard many people talking about that. I've heard people talking about, how we've chosen to experience certain things in this lifetime, but I never really hear people talking about the fact that you chose what you are going to look like. And that also means that, when we're in these very pure soul states and we're choosing the things that we want to experience and all this stuff like that, you are in your most unconditionally loving version of yourself. You are in your most empowered state like ever possible. And you are very smart, you're very intelligent. You understand and you know things that you forget. And with that being said, I think that says a lot, the fact that when you're in that kind of state is when you're able to pick what you're going to look like, which means that you've made no mistake. I believe when we do these things, we have God and we have our angels supporting us throughout that process. So that means if God and your angels, they were like, this is what we want you to look like, there's no mistake in that. You look the way that you look for a reason. And here's the beauty of this too. When you come here, you also have the ability to change what you look like. And I know that in my own personal life, and I've seen other people experience this as well. I've worked with people one-on-one and helping them with these same exact problems, where you start to like doubt yourself. You start feeling like you have to change what you look like in order to be accepted by other people. And there's a very fine line between doing that versus transforming the way that you look so that it fits more to your personality, your inner qualities, the way that you want to express yourself. And so I urge you, if you are thinking about parts of yourself that maybe you want to shift and change, I invite you to do that in a way where you are expressing yourself. You're doing it in a way where you are trying to match the outside way that you look with an empowered way that you're seeing yourself on the inside. Because that's very different than you saying like, oh, I'm an ugly person, so I feel like I need to change myself. Or you're like, I don't like the way that I look, so I need to dye my hair. And if I don't dye my hair, I don't look beautiful. Or I only look beautiful when I have this one hair color. Or I only look beautiful when I wear makeup and I show up and I do that. Like, these are the kinds of things that people think to themselves. These are the things I've thought to myself. I've had thoughts like that. I've had thoughts about things and been like, oh, I know this is something I used to believe about myself. I used to think, well, I'm only beautiful like when I smile. Like if I don't smile, I don't feel like I look beautiful. And I encourage you to start writing those things down. When you notice these thoughts coming up, I want you to write them down. And then I want you to take about a couple minutes to figure out how you can reframe those thoughts. And if you need help with that, you can always reach out to me. I mean, that's what I do as my work as a certified life coach and a mentor. I'd love to help you guys if you're struggling with that. But seriously, like, that really can change your entire life. Just getting into the process of learning how you can do that. And so back to, this concept of honoring what you look like. You were made in the image of God, and God does not make any mistakes. You didn't make any mistakes when you chose to look the way that you looked either. If you accept that idea and that concept, if that resonates with you, that's always something that has resonated with me, and it made me feel so much better about myself, and it helped me shift the way that I decided to show up. And this is the funny thing too, like, there's so many amazing ways that you can show up and express yourself. And there's ways that you can do that that can make you feel like you're a little bit more confident. I feel more confident when I feel like I can, like, change my hair to look the way that, like, I want it to, like right now, right? Like, I just got my hair done. I like my hair like this because I feel like it kind of fits my vibe, like it fits my aesthetic. And that, being able to find things like that helps you feel better. And it's because we all have this very deep calling within our souls to express ourselves. We have this deep calling to connect with other souls, to connect with other people. And the more that you can express yourself, the more that you can do those things. And there's power in that, because when you can, confidently express yourself, you finally get to this point where you realize that your external is not what makes you you. It's not about that. It's not about what you look like. Like, I swear to God, the people that you meet in your life, the people who you are already connected to, that you love, who care about you, who actually value you, your thoughts, your beliefs, your opinions, who accept you for being you, fully unique, those people were attracted to your energy before they were attracted to what you look like. And I totally mean that. Like, I can notice someone's energy before I'm actually, like, really trying to look at that person, before I'm trying to worry about, like, what that person looks like. You know what I mean? And other people are experiencing the same thing with you right now. And I know that you can think of some experiences in your life right now where someone has walked into a room and you were like, hey, yo, that person is the shit. Like, that person, the way that they carry themselves is so magnetic. They seem so confident. Or you're like, wow, like, that person, the way that they walk, it just seems so, it's something about it that really attracts you to that person. It's because you're feeling their energy more than you are what they actually look like. And that's the thing. When you are changing certain things about the way that you show up, you're figuring out things that are going to match the vibrational energy that you are wishing to put out, the vibrational energy of which you are already at. So you should always be trying to keep yourself in a high vibration. And there might be periods where maybe you're having a really bad day or a bad week or a bad period in your life, and you feel like your energy isn't in the highest vibration. And the best thing that you could do at that point is still show up, still try to embody that best version of yourself, and show up as that, because that shows up in how you walk physically, that shows up in how you talk to people, the words that you use. And I know that sounds like, like such a simple thing. And that's the beauty about it. A lot of these things that sound so simple to us, they are the most powerful things. Simple doesn't mean that it's easy to do, but it is simple. And when I think about all of these things, I also think about the fact that sometimes we don't really show up as who we are. Like, I genuinely mean this, like, from the bottom of the bottom of my heart. We know in psychology that this is a fact. Literally, the way that you think about yourself changes the way that you show up. It changes the way that people perceive you, because it changes the way that you dress. It changes the way you talk. It changes the way that you walk. It changes the way that you choose to make certain decisions in your life. So it really starts with the things that are internal. So I really, I really encourage you to take on that exercise that I told you guys about. And also, as well, I want you to start trying to identify some ways that maybe you have been letting your idea of the external world really rule your life. Because, like I said, the external does not make you. Your internal does. And that's what people are going to be attracted to. That's how you are going to attract people, relationships, friendships, beautiful experiences, and all these amazing miracles that you're trying to attract into your life. It starts with being able to show up in your natural state of magnetism, because every single person has it. It doesn't matter what you look like. You have an internal state of magnetism that will show up in your physical world, because that's just the way it is. Like, that's the law of, like, nature. It's the law of spirituality. And there's so many spiritual laws that literally support all of the things that I'm saying right now. I also want to share this with you too, guys. Like, something that I did, it's just like a little a little simple activity, but it brought me so much joy just being able to do it. I created my own aesthetic. So I love using Pinterest, and on Pinterest I created a board, and it's literally I'm all, it's crazy because I've never actually, like, said it out loud. It's called the Courageous Angel. And that's kind of like the aesthetic that I follow. So angels have a very significant meaning for me in my life. I've had many experiences with angels. I've had this experience in my life where I had, like, a very like a near-death experience, and I was totally saved by my angels. I always pray to them. I've had experiences with my clients where I've learned certain things about them, where I've been able to really hold space for them in an amazing way, just because I've connected with my angels in those moments. And that's what has helped really make me a very good coach and a very good healer and a helper for other people. And so when I created this aesthetic, I wanted to embody this energy of, like, my best self, the qualities that I attribute to angels. And also, one thing that has always, people have always said about me, and I truly believe is a part of my soul's core. It's just a core aspect of how I express myself. And so whenever I hear it being said to me, it really means the world to me. And it's always surprised me how different people in my life who have said this about me, who don't know one another, have still come up with this word. But people have told me my whole life that I'm a very graceful person, that I show up with a lot of grace. And so when I was creating this, the Courageous Angel aesthetic, I said, I want to show up in a deep state of grace. So the way that I choose my clothes, I want to represent what I picture as my state of grace. And so I started to add pictures to my board that represented the kind of energy that I wanted to feel when I was wearing those outfits and those shoes. I started picking pictures that represent the kind of energy that I want people to feel when I walk into a room. I wanted people to feel like they are in a state of grace. I wanted people to feel like, when they see me, when they interact with me, that is literally what they think of. And because I really have been working on doing this, I've noticed that it has definitely elevated my level of confidence. And like I told you guys, like I've been like very confident the last couple of years of my life. And it's because I put so much work into that. And I actually remember the exact moment in my life where I really kind of just accepted the fact that my thoughts about myself were maybe not right all this time, right? Because I spent so many years judging myself, criticizing myself for what I looked like. And I remember my freshman year of college, I was in a class and we had to journal. And in my journal, I was very vulnerable about how I had been feeling. And I wrote in my journal that I felt like I have been too hard on myself. Like maybe the way that I've been thinking about myself isn't correct. Because when we have thoughts, the error that we make is we believe all of our thoughts. All of the thoughts that you have in your mind are not going to be right. They're not going to be correct. And actually, I think a lot of the thoughts that we have about ourselves are not correct in reality. We spend so much time critiquing how we look. We're thinking about how we can change the way that we look, so much so that we don't appreciate what we already look like. And so I really want you to honor who you are. I want you to honor what you look like, because this is a gift. And if you felt like what I shared about us choosing the way that we look, if that resonated with you, please let me know that. Guys, it would mean the world to me if you would write a review for me if you're on Apple Podcasts. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please make sure that you like and subscribe to my channel. Please make sure that you share this video with someone in your life that you feel like needs to hear this. It really does mean everything to me when you guys share my videos, because this is the reason why I do what I do. I want to continue to create a movement. I want to continue to inspire people to be in their power, to create the world and the lives that they truly are deserving of. And I also would like to ask if you need any help with, trying to find yourself so that you can express yourself even more, because that's a part of being magnetic. It's hard to figure out exactly how you want to express yourself when you don't really know who you are as a person. So if you're lacking in that area of trying to discover yourself and you would like some help with that, and if you are someone as well where you just feel like you want some help in trying to understand how you personally, with where you're at in your life right now, with the special gifts that you have, how you can learn to show up and be more magnetic so you can better show up to be in your power and create the things that you deserve and want in this life. You guys, please reach out to me. I am a certified life and spiritual coach and a mentor. I love working with people. I help people with this stuff all the time. So I'd love to help you as well if that's an area of your life in which you're struggling or you just want to know more about it. And if you know anyone in your own personal life who needs help with these kinds of things, please send them my website link. You guys can always reach me on my website, biancaward.com. I respond back really quickly. So yeah, share my website link with someone if there's someone specific that maybe you have thought about as you were listening to this episode. And I encourage you to really sit with the things that I shared in this video today, because I know it might take a while to digest, especially, with just knowing that we're so powerful, and we're powerful enough that we are co-creators in this life, but also we were co-creators before we showed up here. Like, we were literally co-creators with God. And I mean that just in the sense that God was like, this is what you're going to look like. And you were like, yeah. And God was also like, you know, you're going to be this amazing, beautiful being. And we forget these things. We forget that we also have chosen what we were going to look like. We had that choice. And so stand in that and let me know, guys, like, what does that actually look like for you to stand in that energy? What does that look like? How do you think when you stand in that energy? These are the things that I want you to know and I want you to think about. So thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.